I have great pleasure in welcoming His Excellency Yair Lapid, Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Israel. I invite him to address the Assembly.
How did this happen? It happened because we decided not to be a victim. We chose not to dwell on the pain of the past, but rather to focus on the hope of the future. We chose to invest our energies into building a nation, into building a happy society, optimistic and creative. We didn't only reach the promised land, we are building the promised land. History is determined by people. We need to understand history, respect it, and learn from it, but also to be willing and able to change it, to choose the future over the past, peace over war, partnership over seclusion and isolation. A few months ago, we convened the historic Negev Summit. We sat at dinner not far from the grave of David Ben-Gurion, the founding father of the State of Israel. There were 6 of us: the Secretary of State of the United States, foreign ministers of Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Morocco, and Israel. A dinner that only 2 years ago no one would have believed was possible. And then the door opened. Someone came in and said, "I'm sorry to disturb you, but there was a terror attack not far from Tel Aviv. 2 Israelis were murdered." In an instant, we all understood that the goal of the attack was to destroy the summit, to create anger among us, to cause us to argue and to divide this new partnership between us. And I said to the foreign ministers, we have to condemn this terror attack right now together. We have to show the world that terror will not triumph. The room fell silent, and then one of the Arab foreign ministers said, "But we are always against terror at Iran. You can ask us to live according to the values in the UN Charter, but you cannot ask us to die for them." My father was a child in the ghetto. My grandfather was murdered in a concentration camp. We want to live in peace, but only if it gives us security, not if it threatens us even more. Look at Gaza. Israel did everything the world asked of us, including from this very stage. We left. 17 years ago, we dismantled the settlements, took apart our military bases. There is not a single Israeli soldier in Gaza. We even left them 3,000 greenhouses so they could start to build an economy for themselves. What did they do in response? In less than a year, Hamas, a murderous terror organization, came to power. They destroyed the greenhouses and replaced them with terrorist training camps and rocket launch sites. Since we left Gaza, over 20,000 rockets and missiles have been fired at Israel, all of them at civilians. That book and the principles of liberal democracy require us to stretch out our hand in peace. Our history requires us to be clear-eyed about it and very, very careful. That is how we've made peace in the past. That is how we will make peace in the future. Thank you.
On behalf